do a life audit, you ask for feedback from your people around you, you now set the goals that are meaningful to you, and the next thing is you create the strategies needed to achieve those goals. Are you ready to make 2025 your year? Let me show you a step-by-step process of how you are going to make 2025 your year, how you're going to plan and execute like a pro. My name is Bibiana Jesse. I am a food blogger and a social media strategist. I also love talking about personal growth, self-discovery, personal development, and I felt like it was the right time for me to start incorporating some of this into my YouTube content. So you're going to be seeing more content like this from me. I know that as we enter a new year, a lot of us, we have different types of goals, be it financial goals, personal goals, career goals, relationship goals, all the goals that we have. But sometimes it can be very overwhelming because you have all these things or all these goals and you don't know where to start from. And that feeling of being overwhelmed can even make you stop chasing your goals, and you continue to live the same life you've lived in the past that did not give you the results that you wanted. And that is why I'm here. For the past couple of years, I have set and consistently hit several of my goals, not all of them, but several of my goals using certain techniques and things that I'm going to share with you guys, and hopefully you're able to pick certain things from this video that you can use to master and achieve your 2025 goals. You are going to do something called a life audit, a yearly life audit, or just generally a life audit. Where are you now? What is the stage of your life right now? Are you happy with your life? Is there something you wish you could do that you're not doing? What are the things you forecast, or when you look at your life, when you envision your life, where do you find yourself? Don't start setting goals, don't start setting resolutions without doing a life audit or without reflecting on your life. Even in social media where I work, before we take over a client's page, before we start posting content for the client, we always do something that we call a social media audit, where we check where is the page right now, what kinds of content are they creating, how is it going, what's the engagement like, what are the gaps in the market. We look at all these things and we are able to craft something for them using the audits that we've done. So an audit is extremely important. And when you are doing some of these audits, don't just rush it and say that, oh, I'm doing an audit, so that's it. Sit down and look at yourself, assess your skill set. Are you skilled? Do you have any money-making skills? What are some of the things that when people are looking for tips or advice or help, they come to you for? What are some of your shortcomings? You take all that data, or as people will say, data, and you make informed decisions in 2025 with it, okay? So don't just say, oh, last year this happened, then you move on to 2025 without using all that information from 2024 for nothing. Another thing that I also really like to do is I like to talk to people. Feedback is not the easiest thing to take, okay? But it's essential for growth. When you are able to take feedback, trust me, you are halfway ahead of 50% of the world, because taking criticisms on your life, on your work, taking feedback from people, knowing very well that they can give you negative feedback, it's not the easiest thing. I like to talk to people in my life. Okay, last year, what are some of the things that I did? What did you really like about it? Especially if you are in a friendship or if you're in a relationship, this discussion, or if you work with people, you have staff, what can I do better? If it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife or kids that you have that conversation with them. 2024, what were some of the things that I did not like as a mother? How can I show up better for you as a mother in 2025? You ask questions. This is all part of the audit. Getting feedback so that every goal you are setting is aligned with the information that you already have about yourself. I think in our culture, feedback is not something we take very well. And so like you going up to your parents and telling them that, Mom, I don't think you were a good mom to me last year. That's a taboo. But I think we need to start opening up and being open to conversations like that, because that is how we grow as a collective and as individuals. Okay, now we get into actually setting the goals. And this is where it gets tricky. Setting goals is not picking a paper and writing things down that, I want to do this, I want to get here, I want to go here. That is why the first and the second part of the whole process is extremely important. Some of you don't need new goals. You don't need New Year's resolutions. You don't need anything new. You just need to amplify what you're doing already. I don't know where we got this idea from, but it's not compulsory for everybody to set new goals. It's not compulsory for everybody to have new resolutions. You can continue with what you're doing and amplify it, or sometimes you don't even need to amplify it. You think you're in a good motion, you can continue in that motion. That is where the SMART goals come in. I know a lot of us, we hear the SMART goals and we don't understand. And the SMART goals is just an acronym for a system or a framework of setting goals where you are making it very specific. So if you say that I would make money in 2025, that is not a goal, that is a wish. Okay, a wish and a goal are two different things. That is just you wishing that Santa will bring you a gift. Santa could bring it or not. Okay, so saying that I want to make 50,000 Ghana cedis by the end of December. That is a specific goal. And then we go to the next step where you create an action plan or a strategy to make that 50,000. So if you say that you want to make 50,000 cedis by the end of December and you leave it there, that's also not a complete goal. That's a half goal. And what did they say? A half work done deserves no reward. It has to be measurable. So measurable means that, can I measure this goal? How can I know if I've achieved this goal? So if you set a goal that I want to make 50,000 Ghana cedis by the end of December, if by the end of December you have 50 Ghana cedis in your account, or you have 100 Ghana cedis in your account, you know that definitely your goal, by measuring your goal, you do not achieve the goal. Attainable. The goals need to be what? Please stop building castles in the air. I know we said we are being delusional. I am the queen of the Lulu. Be realistic with yourself. Like, at this point in your life, can you buy a G-Wagon? No. So why is a G-Wagon on your vision board, my darling? Why is a G-Wagon on your vision board? You don't even have 10,000 Ghana cedis saved in your bank account. Why is a G-Wagon on your vision board? I know you say that, oh, my God can do anything, and he can. But I think it's very, very important to be as realistic as possible. Can you actually attain this goal? Because some of the goals, when they are too big, it gets so overwhelming that you decide not to even do it at all. Relevant. How relevant is this goal to you? Just because everybody is setting goals, I want to travel, I want to go to school, I want to marry, I want to have kids. We live in the age of social media where if you don't take care, you will take on the mind of other people. You may be thinking that you have independent thoughts, but you don't have independent thoughts. A lot of people do not have independent thoughts because of the kind of content that we consume online. It's so easy to just take the mind of someone. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what do I really want? Do I want this because the next person on social media has it? Or do I want it because it actually makes meaning to my life and it will make my life better? Okay, some of you have set relationship goals. Baby, maybe what you need in 2025 is to lock in, work so hard, work on your standards, work on your self-love and your self-worth, and give dating a try again in 2026. Maybe relationships should be the last thing on your list in 2025. Do you even have the emotional maturity to handle a man or a woman? Are you financially stable enough to be in a relationship? And I'm talking to both the men and the women. Maybe it's not time for you. So are you saying that you want to be in a relationship because everybody is in a relationship, or because you think my family is giving me too much pressure, let me just go and find a man, let me go and find a woman? Are those goals relevant to you? Time bound. What is the duration? And I know there are certain goals that you can't put a time on it because it's going to happen when it's going to happen, okay? But then for the most part, you can. For example, if you want to go into the gym, you want to lose weight, you need to put a time to it so that you will just lock in and get the work done. And this is also where realistic comes in. If you said, I want to lose 50 kg or I want to lose 20 kg in 1 week, that's not realistic. You want to kill yourself. That is not realistic. Okay, so it has to be time bound, but it also has to be very, very realistic. It has to be achievable. Here is how I go about setting my goals. So what I do is that I pick certain areas of my life which I have already assessed. I want to write all those areas down. So for example, let's say for me, I want to prioritize my health, my money, my career, let's say my relationships. So I have my goals here that I did with the help of my bestie, ChatGTP. So I just wrote the raw draft and I put it into ChatGTP and I told Chat, refine these goals for me. And it wrote it in ways that mimic the SMART goals. I've written on top, I'm giving you like the step-by-step process, right? 2025 goals. Then I have the different areas I want to focus on. So I have financial, I have education, I have career, I have health and fitness, and then I have personal growth. So for the health and the fitness, I don't know if you guys can see it. Main goal is I want to maintain a body weight of 58 kg throughout 2025. By doing the life audit, I know where I am. I know I am at 62 kg now, so it means I have to lose just 4 kg. I'm going to be working out 4 to 5 times a week. Every week, I should be in the gym 4 to 5 times. So this is a SMART goal. Go on walks 3 times a week. One of the easiest ways to lose weight is by walking. It has been proved so many times that walking actually helps you lose weight. And I'm not really the walking type. I'm not the walking and the running type. I'm going to challenge myself to walk. It's also a way for me to get to know my neighborhood more. Okay, so 3 times every week, I am walking. I'm also going to stick to a monthly meal plan. So I have a meal plan there already. I'm going to stick to it. So I'm going to be eating my food from the meal plan. One of my personal growth goals is to establish a daily routine to stay productive. So I've actually started working on the daily routine. So from the time I wake up to I go to bed, if it's a work week, if it's a school week, if it's an off day, what am I going to be doing? So I have Monday through to Sunday, what I'm going to be doing. The days I'm going to be sleeping in, the days I'm going to be waking up earlier, the days I'm going to be all that. I know you might be sitting there thinking, why is she acting like a robot? I just thrive on routines. And that is why before you set your goals, you need to do a life audit and see what works for you. I also have expand my network by attending events and building connections. And that is something I've started working on. I want to expand my network. I want to go out more. I want to leave my shell, okay? I want to be able to network more and get to know people. The money you are looking for, the opportunity, sometimes the man you're looking for, the one you're looking for, it's not in your house. You have to leave the house, okay? And be more intentional about meeting people and doing all of that. I personally believe that it is not enough to end at just writing, I want to achieve this by this, I want to get this by this, I want to make X amounts by the end of the year. How are you going to achieve those things? If you say you want to lose 5 kg, how are you going to lose 5 kg? If you say that you want to make 50,000 Ghana cedis, how are you going to make 50,000 Ghana cedis? Do you even have the resources right now to make that 50,000 Ghana cedis? By creating an action plan, you open yourself up to upgrade, to skills development, to finding a way. You reduce the excuses, you find a way to actually achieve the goals. For example, let's say that you say, I want to make 50,000 Ghana cedis by the end of the year, but you don't have the capacity to make 50,000 cedis right now because you don't have the skill set, your current job, looking at the salary you take, you may not be able to make 50,000 by the end of the year if you are saving just from your salary. So maybe the plan would be to get a side hustle, to find a remote job, to do something, start a business, something like that. And so maybe for the first 3 months, if let's say you're going to build another skill, you would probably have to lock in, take some courses, upgrade yourself and learn the skill in the first 3 months. And then the second quarter, you start actually implementing whatever you need to implement to start making money out of it. But if you just write, I want to make 50,000 Ghana cedis and you leave it there just like that, that becomes a problem because now you don't know how you're going to make that money. And that is where a lot of people become overwhelmed because they don't have action plans. They don't have strategies to be able to achieve the goals that they are saying they want to achieve. You need to break them down. So if it's a year, let's say you want to make 50,000 cedis by the end of the year, you are breaking them down into quarters. So every quarter, how much do you need to make? Every month, how much do you need to make? Even sometimes, there was a time where I broke it down to every day how much I'm supposed to be making. So if I'm sitting down wasting time, I know I'm wasting time that I could use to make money. Okay, so when you break it down like this, now you know that, okay, every month, let me just do my simple calculations because sometimes, so 50,000 cedis divided by 12, it means that every month you should be making 4,166 cedis. This is not income, this is profit. Let's say that in the work you are doing, you're being paid 3,000 cedis. That is where you take your rent from, your bills, you send some to your family and all of that. So obviously, from the get-go, you know that you need to find a side hustle or a business, or probably you need to ask for a promotion, you need to change jobs, go and find a higher paying job. All those actions are things you do to be able to become the person that is able to save 50,000 Ghana cedis. And that is why creating an action plan is very, very important. So you don't just start and then you leave it there, you write the goal and then you go back to sleep. 2025 will come and you say 2026 is your year, you still repeat it and it will keep being what it is for you, because the year is, there's nothing special about the year if you don't put in the work. Okay, there are certain habits that you can actually use to be able to stay more productive and more consistent. An example is time blocking. So if you are someone that is easily distracted, like your phone, you're always on your phone, I am like that sometimes. So sometimes when I want to do something, what I do is I block time. So let's say that I'm going to work on this strategy, or I'm going to do this. I pull my phone away. I set a timer for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, so that I can really lock in, hide my phone somewhere I would not find it, so that I can really lock in and finish what I need to do. So you block out time to do certain things. You have certain activities that are recurring. Instead of doing it every day, you block time or you block a day and you get to do it. So let's say if you're a content creator, you can find a day and batch your content, block time and batch your content. Find another day, block time and edit your content. Find another day, block time and schedule your content. Or you can do all that in a day, so that the rest of the week you don't really have to be actively creating content, because you already have content that you've used one day to film, edit, and then schedule. You see how we go about it? Another strategy you can also use to stay more consistent is having accountability partners. So having people you can answer to. You said you start that business, but you didn't tell anybody. So even if you don't start, nobody cares, nobody knows. But if you have an accountability partner, especially one that is very serious, the one that is very strict, someone that you know that if you tell them that you said you will do this, they're going to make sure that you are doing this. They're always going to ask you for updates. It helps you stay on your toes. So it could be your partner, it could be your friend, it could be your work colleague, it could be anybody that you trust to hold you accountable for the things you said you would do. So for example, if you want to go to the gym and you go and find an accountability partner in a friend of yours that has never stepped foot in the gym, that is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so you find someone that in the grand scheme of things, they work for the particular goal you have. Using these planning and collaborative tools like Google Calendar, Notion, Google Keep, like things that you can use to track yourself right now, what is happening. It will help you with reminders. It will set timers. Like Notion is my go-to. Notion is my baby, because that's why I do a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing, and then I keep track of a lot of things there. So you could find any of these collaborative tools, to-do lists like Microsoft To Do, and then just let it give you reminders. Another thing I do to be able to ensure that I am reaching my goals is also I reward myself. Okay, I have certain things that I know that I don't want to do, but then if I do it, I reward myself. So maybe I can say that if I do this, I would go on a trip, or if I do this. So it depends on how big or small it is. Let's say I can say that if I'm able to reach my financial goal for the year, I'll take a trip, or I'll go on a staycation or something. I'll buy myself a bag, or I'll buy myself an iPad. Something to motivate you to work harder. Or it could be smaller things like, okay, if I'm able to read 5 chapters of this book today, or I'll binge my favorite show. Something, so you motivate yourself with something you like, in order to do what you wouldn't want to do. Finally, you have to review your goals and do check-ins with yourself, okay? When it comes to goals, it's very personal, and because of that, sometimes you don't review it, you don't check how it's going, you just go. You don't do any recap to find out if something is happening that is not supposed to be happening. You don't do all of that. And so it's very, very important for you to do quarterly check-ins, monthly check-ins, yearly check-ins. You said you would do all these things. How many of them have you been able to do? Which ones were you not able to do? What happened? What prevented you from being able to do that? Okay, so you do all those things, and then I guarantee that if you really lock in and use all the steps and processes I've mentioned in this video, 2025 is gonna be that year for you. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've taken something from this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new here and you've not subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.